I would like to share a username with you.
Okay. A username?
Because we love our TikTok followers.
That is a really long username.
It's not very long. Oh my God. No, I mean, like, we love our TikTok users.
We do.
Our followers. They're great people. They're very funny.
Absolutely. They are really funny.
Yeah, I'll comment. We have a bunch of TikTok followers, and it's great because we attract a certain ilk.
Yeah.
The people that think we're funny are probably the type of people that, like, share our sense of humor. And so there is a username that I screenshot because I just thought it was incredibly funny. And maybe go check this person out. Maybe don't. But it's a funny username, and that's all I'm going to say about it. I would like to posit Strawberry Shortcuck.
Strawberry Shortcuck.
That is fucking clever.
That's good.
I like that.
I like that.
They are following 3,000 people.
That is a lot.
That's manic behavior.
Yeah, guaranteed they're never on their following tab.
Oh my God, their following is essentially their For You page at this point.
Yeah.
They're just following everyone that comes across their For You page.
Pretty much, which explains why they're following us. Are they even following us? If we're not on the list of 3,000.
Yeah, they're following us because
Okay.
the screenshot I took so I would remember the name Strawberry Shortcuck, which is literally comedy gold.
Good job.
It says follow back on it.
Awesome.
So
Strawberry Shortcuck. What was the character? What was the little redheaded character named Strawberry Shortcake? What was her name?
I thought her name was Strawberry Shortcake.
It wasn't like Strawberry Shortcake Jehovah. I don't know why I said Jehovah. Strawberry Shortcake like Joanna. Or like Jehovah. Or like Strawberry Shortcake Rachel.
Strawberry Shortcake Christ. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another vaguely familiar episode of Anything But Politics. As always, my name is Jim Altman, and I'm sitting here today with my buddy. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another vaguely familiar episode of Anything But Politics. As always, my name is Tim Altman, and I'm here with...
Yellow.
Wow. Wow.
You said to change my name.
Yeah, but like a little bit.
Oh, you wanted me to be like...
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another vaguely familiar episode of Anything But Politics. My name is Yellow, and I'm here with...
Christian Roman.
God.
What? I changed it. There's a second N at the end.
There are two N's at the end?
Yeah,
Is one of them silent?
you could hear it back. I went, Christian Roman. There's just a little extra N.
How vaguely familiar. And today, hey, welcome back, everybody. Today, another user submission. We kind of talked about this at the end of the last episode.
Wow.
We're going to be talking about the Mandela Effect. Very fun. I think there's going to be some goofs here.
I thought it was the... Oh, forget it. I'm not even going to try. Yeah, there could be some goofy goofs. Hey, do you want to just, like, before we even get into it, just spit out the classics?
Yeah.
Fruit of the Loom, Cornucopia.
Let's look it up, man.
Berenstain Bears, man.
Mandela Effects. 40 Mandela Effect examples that will
Jesus.
blow your mind.
We're going to go through 40?
Nah.
Okay.
Well,
Just hit the highlights.
We do have to talk about this. The title of the Mandela Effect being named after Nelson Mandela, who, let's start with the reason we're all here. Nelson Mandela, who this theory is named after, died in 2013. Right. Yep. However, countless people distinctly remember him dying in prison in the 1980s, but his death wasn't the only example of the Mandela Effect. So, essentially, a whole swath of people believed he died in the 1980s while in prison. He did not.
Was he in prison?
I think he was.
Okay. So, like, wow, the thing that just has always bothered me about the Mandela Effect is, like, how? Because obviously the truth is what the truth is, so it didn't happen.
For Mandela himself, I'm not entirely sure.
Right.
But because the other examples do exist, I understand how the Mandela Effect can happen. Like this one, Jiffy peanut butter. I swore I remember Jiffy. Maybe it's me seeing Jif and Skippy peanut butter. You know Skippy?
I do know Skippy.
Maybe I'm just combining the two, but I could have sworn Jiffy peanut butter existed. That is one that I am victim of.
Gotcha.
One of the most popular, Berenstein versus Berenstein.
Yeah.
The E and the A.
Berenstain, I think.
Yeah. I was very surprised to learn it was Berenstain. But that's the thing. I don't remember it otherwise. I just never cared how it was spelled.
Another thing about that is, like, that is one from, like, I was a child, and you have a different perception of reality as a child. The Nelson Mandela one is so weird because that's adults thinking that something happened and then it actually happening 30 years later. And you're an adult for both times. So I don't know, it's just fucking weird. Like that one, the original one, just fucking fucks with me. Like, how did you think he died? It's not like there was the internet. You know how on the internet, something's like, Eddie Murphy died yesterday. Yeah. It's like, there was no that.
I don't know.
It's just weird, man. I fucking hate it.
I'm going to go through and you're just going to tell me whether or not you've fallen victim. I'll tell you whether or not I've fallen victim.
Great.
Curious George having a tail.
Yes.
I fell victim.
Yeah,
yep. I absolutely thought he did.
People did. That's another one where you're a kid.
Febreze only has one E.
Yeah. No, I definitely fell victim. I definitely thought it was two E's.
Yeah, it just looks like Febreze.
Yeah. Febreze. Like caprese? Salad?
Yeah.
Like the salad type of salad? But it's...
Fruit Loops.
I can't handle him like sitting where I can see him. I can't do it. Because every time he does the just the tiniest grin, I'm going to break.
That's good. I like that though. Fruit Loops being spelled F-R-O-O-T.
Yeah, no, fuck that. I always thought it was a U-I-T.
What?
It's really close to UTI.
I never really thought about it. Monopoly Man and his monocle.
What about it?
He doesn't have that.
That's not true. That's not true.
The Monopoly Man?
He had one at some point.
This little guy right here?
That's a monocle.
It's also edited. This is the Monopoly Man.
It must have gotten confused with like
the
Mr.
Pringles
Peanut.
guy. Also Mr. Peanut, probably.
Yeah, all three. Does the Pringles guy have a monocle? Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, probably all those things just got lost in translation. See, a lot of these have an explanation.
Pikachu's tail?
It's no. That one's wrong.
That one's wrong.
It's got the
It does not have a black tip. Let's see. The hyphen in Kit Kat.
There is one, right?
There's not one.
What? No.
See, this is perfect. Good episode. Is this Cody for Hire? Who said this?
Miller.
Miller?
Yeah, shout out Miller.
Hey, you got this, Miller. That is what you think exists, and that's just a Kit Kat.
Are we going to have to put up these pictures online on the episode?
No, I mean, like, hey, imagine Kit Kat has a fucking hyphen in it. Like, I'm sorry, that was a little rude. That was a little hostile to you guys right there. You also already mentioned Fruit of the Loom's cornucopia.
Yeah.
Which
it has one. Like, it just does. It does. I know it doesn't.
Have you seen this one?
Why would I think that
Have you seen Cheez-Its?
Is there an E at the end of cheese?
Ooh, you wish. It's not Cheez-Its.
Huh?
The box? That's what the box is. It's Cheez-It.
No.
The brand is called Cheez-It.
No.
And you're talking about eating plural.
No.
There has never been a Z at the end of Cheez-Its. We call them Cheez-Its. That box has always said Cheez-It.
Fuck that, man. I really do hate the Mandela. I forgot how much I hate the Mandela Effect.
So this is the Mandela Effect. This is just a mass misremembering of things. And of course, we can say that this is a mass misremembering because there are two of us.
Yeah, two people living separate lives thought the same thing, and it's not true.
Oh, but like, even though that's a joke and we're kind of spoofing, we're talking about like hundreds of thousands of people living separate lives and believing one thing.
Yeah. And it's just straight up wrong, but believing the same thing that's wrong. It's just weird. It's very weird.
What color is Chartreuse?
Chartreuse isn't that like a greenish? No? Oh, it's pink, isn't it? Pinkish, isn't it?
Have you heard this one? The Mandela Effect for this?
No.
Okay, because those are the two answers, pink and green, but one's right and one's wrong.
It's pink.
You know what? A lot of people think that.
It's greenish?
You were right.
I was right the first time. It's greenish.
That's what a lot of people would think it is, and the green is what it is. That's Chartreuse.
I didn't realize, because I did think it was green, but even if I didn't think it was that dark.
Now we're just talking about misremembering movie quotes. Life is like a box of chocolates.
Yeah.
Life was.
Life, yeah.
It's not Luke, I am your father. It's no, I am your father.
Yeah. Those are so, I think those can just easily be swayed by just someone remembering something wrong, and then it gets spread around.
This one, I'm a little surprised to hear. Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Who's the fairest of them all?
Magic mirror on the wall.
What?
Mirror, mirror was never said.
Where did we come from? Where did we get mirror, mirror from then?
No fucking idea.
Weird. It is weird.
That's the thing. Another thing is like, we don't know where these misrememberings occur.
Yeah.
How can everyone misremember the same thing at the same time?
Oh. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the...
Oh, fucking Hannibal Lecter's, like, hello, Clarice line?
Yeah.
He fucking never said that. He just said good morning.
Weird.
Yeah.
Never seen that movie. I need to.
Oh.
It's a classic.
The very end of the song, We Are the Champions, ending with Of the World.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't exist.
It sounds so empty when you... Because
It does.
they do say that in that song. That is something that is said. But the last time they said it, as the song trails out, it ends with, We are the champions. And that's the end of the song. That chord is unresolved.
You know where I think...
I think it's just musical people wanting to resolve the chord.
Probably so.
Da-da-da.
But also it was in Chicken Little.
He did.
He finished it with Of the World.
But was he at that verse or was he at the end of the song?
Right. He stopped singing after that because I believe that's when a piece of the sky fell.
Come on. Are you talking about this mass misremembering? Hundreds of thousands of people getting this wrong because of Chicken Little?
Chicken Little, baby.
Disney's Chicken Little?
I love that movie.
It's so fucking good.
It's a
I
really
listen to
good
One
movie.
Little Slip by Bare Naked Ladies on like a daily basis.
It's a good song.
Maybe not daily, but I hear it at least weekly. It's on a playlist of mine because it's a good song.
Yeah.
One Little Slip.
As is It's the End of the World by is it REO?
R.E.M. REO?
REM.
Did you say REO Speedwagon?
I was thinking REO
Are you talking about
Speedwagon.
Speedwagon?
Yeah, no, it's not Speedwagon. It's you're right, it's REM. Rem, if you will.
Rem.
Remy, Ratatouille.
Rem. Nicki Minaj. So I think that's enough examples.
Yeah. You got any personals?
Any what?
Personals? Personal Mandelis?
Ooh, gosh.
You remember something?
I could have sworn you farted earlier, but
that wasn't me. It wasn't me.
You didn't. So
I didn't. It like it could have been the chair or the table, or like something in the walls, or my ass. I mean the table.
I have. I don't have any personals off the top of my head. If you want to throw out any, if you have them.
I was not prepared for this. I don't have a whole lot of personals.
That's okay. I have a theory. I have a thing that's like, now it's not my theory, of course. I'm about to read from an article, which is very fun on podcasts because it's neither of us talking. I'm just reading something someone else wrote.
Cool.
But I will give credit where credit is due. This was written by Mark Pygus, May 29th, 2020. I'm getting this off megaphone.upworthy.com, which sounds just the most fucking legit thing ever.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah. It's been a crazy few years for the world. If you told someone from 2012 where we'd be today, they'd,
shit their pants, man.
Probably shit their pants. They gave an example. It's just political.
Tough.
If they told you in 2012 that someone was going to be president, you'd probably think they're crazy.
Yeah, we thought presidents were going to just stop being a thing in 2012.
Yeah.
So if you told them that 4 years later we'd have another one?
Hey, but fast forward a couple years and this is the world we find ourselves in. Unsurprisingly then, some internet users have become convinced that we're in some form of parallel universe. How do we find ourselves here? Well, Twitter user Nick Hinton is convinced that the world ended in 2012, and his ideas seem to have found some backers. Some people that are like, hey, that makes sense. Back in July, he started a Twitter thread, Hinton did, titled A Conspiracy Thread. Did the world end in 2012? It has since gone on to acquire thousands of replies and retweets from fellow social media users who seem to believe his ideas. The thread starts, I've wanted to talk about this for a while now. The other day I had a random urge to look into it again, and I read some old stuff, just for fun. Ever since, I've noticed other people talking about it again. Hinton started by explaining that he's known of a few people who think similarly to him, but haven't been able to find any mention of it online. He believes the world ended in 2012 when scientists found the Higgs boson. Why does he believe this? Let's see here. I know this. He believes this because here's the tweet from July 25th, 2019. So, did the world actually end in 2012? Well, it was the year that scientists at CERN finally found the Higgs boson. The particle that Stephen Hawking predicted could destroy the universe, or in his own words, cause the universe to, quote unquote, undergo a catastrophic vacuum decay. That is something that Stephen Hawking, one of the greatest minds of our time, theorized.
Yeah.
When we find the Higgs boson, this is what it's going to be capable of. Why does he believe this? Well, because nothing's felt the same since. He says, there's the old cliche argument that nothing has felt right since 2012, and I agree with this. Maybe it has something to do with growing up and getting older, but ever since then, it seems like the world descends more and more into chaos every day.
Yeah, ever since 2012, like 2012, my voice got lower, my balls dropped.
It got really hairy?
Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know.
I guess that's when
God, I wish I could shave my balls. I'm still on this.
Damn, I wish I could shave my balls right now. I wish it were 2012 and I could shave my balls.
I wish I could. I would give anything to shave my balls.
Oh, to have a time machine and a shavable
Ball. Or two.
or two. This week is sponsored by...
No, maybe one day.
Oh, one day.
We're trying. Hinton believes that the Higgs boson destroyed the universe and shifted our consciousness to another universe. He says, like I said before, I think we live in a series of simulations. Perhaps the universe was destroyed by CERN and our collective consciousness has moved into a parallel universe next to ours. It would be almost identical, just different in these little ways. Like, in one universe, Nelson Mandela died in prison. And then next thing we know, 2012 happened. And that's cool that Nelson Mandela died in 2013. So that shift that he theorizes actually does kind of fit with the core of the Mandela Effect. Some people remember, and we already talked about this, Febreze with 2 E's rather than with 1 E. Some people remember Skechers having a T instead of the fact that it does not have a T. The list goes on. If any of the pictures or things that we talked about earlier don't feel right to you, you're not alone. Some people remember the Statue of Liberty being on a particular island. Do you know what island Statue of Liberty?
Angel Island.
Wow. I don't know what that is, what you just said.
Angel Island. It's
What?
Angel Island and Ellis Island. It was two of the islands that had a heavy immigration from different places,
Well,
I
that's
believe.
correct. That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not where the Statue of Liberty is.
Word?
It's on Liberty Island.
Oh.
Something completely separate from those.
Wow.
A lot of people remember it, including myself, remember it being on Ellis Island.
Oh, Ellis.
Yeah.
I thought it was on Angel.
It's on Liberty Island. Now, if that's not strange enough, if you go on Google Maps Street View, there's a few specific areas of Liberty Island where the Statue of Liberty is gone. This is true. Google Maps. If you go to Liberty Island, not everywhere, but there are a few places on the sidewalk as you're doing Street View and going down the street, and if you look to where the statue
disappears?
should be, it is not there. Residue from the previous timeline? Nick Hinton might think so. There are even users who claim to be scientists. That's the thing. These users claim to be scientists from CERN who back up the theory. A while back, there was a viral thread on what's the most trustworthy place to get old news.
Wikipedia.
Worse.
Twitter.
Worse.
Old news.
We talked about it earlier. We
Oh,
literally-
4chan?
Yeah. There was a viral thread on 4chan boasted by someone who claimed to be one of the 23 scientists at CERN responsible for creating the Mandela Effect. They claimed the planet was destroyed and were placed in a simulated world. These kind of theories have been around for a while. The idea of like simulations, multiverse, they've been around since the 3rd century in Eastern philosophy. Yeah, so I think that kind of breaks down the bulk of it. It starts getting into some weird stuff then. It gets better. It says time travel can't happen past 2012. Is there another meaning to the end of time? Preston B. Nichols, a supposed whistleblower who wrote books detailing time travel experiments at the Montauk Air Force Base, claimed that they were never able to travel past 2012 in time because they could find no future beyond it. It even made its way into pop culture. Stranger Things and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind are actually both loosely based on those supposed experiments. The end of history is a philosophical idea that has been talked about by very notable figures such as Hegel, Marx, and most recently Francis Fukuyama. At the end of history, events still happen, but humanity has reached the end of its sociocultural evolution. Sociocultural evolution? This theory has nothing to do with time travel or simulations, but rather the stagnation of human progress.
Well, that's not true.
What do you mean?
The shit we've done since 2012 in regards to human progress.
Yeah, but how much of that is truly a step forward and how much of it is just more the same? I mean, like, if you talk about, like, going to the moon, you can boil that down to things like launching shit into space.
Yeah.
If you boil it down to that generalization of, like, oh, we went to the moon? Well, we shot something into space. Then more recent things like, what are the Elon Musk's satellites called that are supposed to give Wi-Fi to the world eventually?
5G?
Something like Starlink? Starlink.
Oh, Starlink. Yeah.
Yeah, Starlink is just shooting shit into space.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that could be a
Yeah,
step.
but like AI?
I mean, we had AI back then. It was just shitty.
Electric cars? Electric cars.
I can't really argue for this because at the end of the day, I
don't
don't
believe it.
quite no.
Yeah.
No. But
I don't either.
it is an interesting
It's
thing
neat.
to posit. It is neat.
Yeah, it's super neat.
It's interesting that a lot of these little focus points that they're talking about exist in the first place to where we're even asking questions, you know?
Yeah.
So while I can't argue for it, not given proper time to argue for it, I probably could argue this, but I would need to understand a lot of things that I don't understand first.
I think a lot of things changed with the internet.
Yeah, I agree.
And just like the easy access to things, and like we can, you don't ever hear about Mandela Effect of a product from like 2015 or 2016 or whatever, because it's one, it's recent. Two, like you know everything now. Berenstain Bears, you were literally like 5 years old watching a TV show. You weren't focused on the spelling.
That's the thing. Think
Curious
about
George,
this.
you're not like, oh, he's got a tail. It's just in your head. This is a known fact of science. Fucking science. This is a known fact that like we picture our childhood differently than it actually went out.
Yes.
Like that's very well known.
I think it might be colloquially known as childhood amnesia, but it might be known as also 7-year-old amnesia because that's when it tends to happen. 7-year-old Among 7-year-old children, 60% recalled the same events, while children tested at age of 9 remembered only 36 to 38% of the events.
Wow.
This suggests that amnesia for early events occurs rapidly over 2 years. And the reason being, we have short-term memory and long-term memory.
Right.
And there are things that our brain is like, hey, gotta remember how to do this shit.
Let's hold on to that one,
Let's hold on to that. And a lot of the details from early childhood are just not needed later in life, so your brain dumps them. Yeah. And while memories are nice, it's just something that at that time your brain has not grown enough to hold all of them. Yeah. So it'll let a lot of them go. Yep. And
unless you're Jim Altman and you remember everything from the day you were born.
I don't have the world's best memory by far.
No, but you have a really good memory.
But I don't think I underwent childhood amnesia. I just don't think I ever did that because I do remember things going back to when I was 2 or 3.
That's probably true.
I don't remember my first year. I don't remember being 1.
Right.
But my earliest memory is from when I was 2 to 3. And it's not like I have that and then the next thing I remember is being 6. I remember a lot of my early childhood, which can't be said for a lot of people.
Yeah, I remember that's about like 7 is where like I remember everything from 7 on.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything. Before that, I have very vague memories.
Things get spotty.
But it's very spotty. And then like anything before 4, I'm out.
So these are those things. I mean, and you're right. It's because you view things differently when you're a kid, and then you forget things, and then when you relearn them, you're like, oh, as a kid, I just kind of assumed different. If you think about it, the Mandela Effect, people thought he died in the 1980s. But he died in 2013 and people got confused. So that was something that they thought occurred in the 80s. Think of the other examples. The Monopoly Man.
Yeah.
The Flintstones. Fruit of the Loom. The Berenstain Bears. All of these are from decades ago. What's happening? The Mandela Effect is called the Mandela Effect because it happened in part due to Nelson Mandela's death that happened in 2013. So we can assume before 2013, 2014, what is known as that effect didn't even exist. People weren't aware of this or this mass, not amnesia, this mass confusion.
Yeah.
People weren't even aware of that. That is something that just recently happened. I can only assume it's a group of adults who are simply remembering their favorite cartoon, the Flintstones, a brand of underwear they wore, Fruit of the Loom. You know, they're remembering these things differently. They were kids in the 1980s and they remember Nelson Mandela dying. Because they probably learned he was in prison and they were like, well, he's good as dead.
Yeah.
And then when he actually died, they were like, whoa.
And you never heard anything about him afterwards because he didn't really do much afterwards. So
he didn't peak in prison, but like he had done all of his work.
Absolutely.
Kind of prior to that. And he did do work after, but nothing that got like televised or like, hey.
No. And news
the next time people heard of him was his death.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there wouldn't be this mass confusion.
Yeah.
So I really think the Mandela Effect is rooted in all of these people who thought something happened in the 1980s is different now. They're like, oh, Fruit Loops. That's been around for decades. The Monopoly Man has been around for decades. All of this they experienced this as a kid. They assumed one thing. And when they grew up and learned different, they were like, whoa, I thought Kit Kat had a hyphen.
Yeah.
I could have sworn that that was different. There's no example, and I might be wrong. Miller, anyone else in the Discord? Anyone else watching? Join the Discord and prove me wrong. I don't think there's any example of the Mandela Effect for like the name of a company that was made in 2019.
Right, yeah.
There's no recent example.
No.
It's just, hey, these things that happened 50 years ago
When you were a kid.
are not like you remember. And it's like, yeah, I bet.
I'm sure, because I don't have perfect memory.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I've told stories from when I was like 15, and other people that were with me during those times are like, that's not fucking true. What
Seth
do you
does
say?
that shit all the time,
Yeah.
but that's also because I just lie a lot.
Yeah.
Because it makes the story more
More interesting,
entertaining.
yeah.
I just saw a highlight from Game Grumps that I always like watching just because I think it's funny.
Yeah.
They were talking about Dan getting called a name, and Aaron's like, I'm sorry. And he's like, oh, don't be sorry. I was called worse today. When I was driving on my way here, someone leaned out their window and said, hey, fuck you, asshole. And I was like, no, you are, in fact, the asshole in this situation. And then Aaron chuckled a little bit and went, wait, you don't have a car right now. And Dan went, oh, yeah, I was lying. Because it happened a week or two ago, but it makes the story more exciting if it happened today.
Yeah.
So this is a truthful thing, but he's just twisting the time frame to make the story more entertaining. I do this all the time.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
You know, because we record what?
He gave a little look.
It can be. Seth doesn't call me out when I like say this thing that happened last week. If I say that it happened earlier today, he's not going to call me out on that. But if like I misquote someone to a extent that it's like kind of puts them in a bad light, he'll be like, okay, no, they didn't say that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Mandela Effect. It's neat. Another sciencey episode.
That's like half sciencey.
Yeah, it's more conspiracy. Hey, here's something that's kind of in the same vein. Sayings that you thought were this, but they're not.
Yeah.
So, for instance, when I was in, I think, 6th grade, which is way too old to be thinking that this is true, I wrote a paper for my teacher. And in the paper, I wrote at one point, taken for granted.
For granted.
For granted.
Interesting.
Taken for...
It's that thing. The thing is that makes more sense to me than like a lot of Mandela effects. Is mishearing something and just being like, oh, no, taken for granted is a thing.
I know it's not Mandela Effect. It's just in the same vein of like, 11-year-old me thought that it was taken for granted, which just means that would be me saying like, you thinking I'm a rock. Like that's what that means. I'm taken for granted.
Oh yeah.
It just I look like a rock. That's what that means. And the teacher didn't correct it, which really scared me. It's like, why are you qualified to be my teacher?
Yeah.
Because I found that paper 2 years later, and I was like, what the fuck did you write? You wrote taken for granted. And she was like, 100.
Did you read this?
Yeah, I don't think you read this at all. There's no way. I thought it was taken for granted for like, probably up until I was like 12 years old.
I know I have examples of the same thing, but...
Up and Atom is one of them.
You thought it was up in ATOM?
No, ADAM.
Up and Adam.
Up and Atom.
Good old Adam.
He's always up.
Him and his apple.
Oh, nothing to ride home about.
Ride home.
Ride home, yeah. I guess you got to ride home and just tell everybody about what happened. It was that cool.
I have found more.
Okay.
Because I know other people experience this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, as opposed to.
As opposed to. As supposed to?
So, it's supposed to be as opposed to.
Yeah.
In opposition to.
Yeah.
But someone's posed as opposed to. Someone said, I fell victim to this while I was still in school. I wrote an English essay and my dad was checking it.
That's tough.
And he came across a sentence containing the phrase as opposed to. He asked what I meant. So I said I was forming an argument that you should consider X as opposed to Y. And he fell laughing before explaining to me that the correct phrase is as opposed to.
As opposed to.
Wait, what?
Huh?
This is wrong.
What?
This has got to be wrong. Am I wrong?
Yes.
Oh no, you've got another thing coming.
You've got another thing coming.
Is wrong.
You've got another thing coming? No.
You've got another think coming.
No, that doesn't even make any sense.
This one you hear all the time, and people talk quickly or they mumble, and it's pretty hard to hear the difference between thing and think. Plus, most people don't really know the meaning or origin of the phrase, so they don't even consider that they might be saying it incorrectly. The best way to unravel this one is to understand that you've got another think coming is part of a longer phrase. It's the shortened version that causes the confusion. The full phrase is, if you think that, you've got another think coming. So what they mean is, if you think that, then your thought is wrong. You need to have another thought.
Stop it. That's crazy. Another thing coming. Yeah, there's that C. So
You've got another think coming.
Another thing coming. You have to like super emphasize. Like you got another thing coming.
I learned that on this show today.
Me too. Wow. Maybe
Correct
you did
yourselves. Too. Correct yourselves.
Yeah, because if you thought that was true, you've got another thing coming.
Don't forget to text your mom this. Have you seen those TikToks?
No.
It's just this guy saying the stupidest shit. Like they pour like pine sol on a floor and start cleaning it, and he just completely lies and he just goes, "They be cleaning their floor with apple juice. Don't forget to text your mom this." So and then people do edit and they text their mom that and they get the response.
That's amazing.
It's really funny.
That is really funny.
Beck and call is 3 words.
Beck and call.
Beck and call.
Not beck and call.
Not beck and call. It's easy to see how this phrase came about.
Yeah.
The correct way to write the phrase is with 3 words, beck and call. And similar to the previous example, it traditionally forms part of a longer phrase to be at someone's beck and call.
Yeah.
But the word beck is a word, and in its own right, it's a short version of the word beckon.
Yeah.
So
that makes a lot of sense. That is super excusable.
yeah. Let's see here. For all intensive purposes.
That one is not excusable ever. That doesn't make any sense. All intents and purpose. What is intensive purposes?
All your intensive purposes.
No, that's not a thing.
The purposes you have to intend.
No.
I don't know.
I know you're, but
you know what's just occurring to me? That we are speaking over an auditory platform about things commonly misheard. So like a lot of the things I'm saying is like, it's not all intents and purposes. It's all intents and purposes. So I hope that we're speaking clearly enough for you to discern.
All intents and purposes.
Yeah, both phrases are quite commonly used in everyday language, but the correct one is for all intents and purposes. And it means in all important and practical ways, as opposed to for all intensive purposes, which implies the meaning of for all important reasons.
Yeah.
For all of the important reasons. Hunger pains.
Hunger pangs.
Pangs.
Yes. It's very weird.
It's another one very close to my heart. My husband often says this, and I took both his mom and I together to fully convince him that he was incorrect.
Yep.
The problem is, when you're hungry, you sometimes have a tummy ache, and therefore you associate pain with hunger pains. But that's not the original phrase. A pang is a sudden sharp pain.
Yep.
So that stomach ache you're feeling is actually a pang. Hence the phrase hunger pangs.
Hunger pangs.
Butt naked.
Buck naked.
Buck naked.
Nah,
B-U-C-K.
I like butt naked.
I do like butt naked.
Butt
as a
naked
phrase.
is great.
This one genuinely surprised me. Butt naked makes sense. When
Yeah.
you take your clothes off and you're naked, your butt's out.
We can see your butt.
While that may be true, it doesn't make the phrase any more correct. The phrase buck naked means completely unclothed. So you're born buck naked and you take a shower buck naked.
But see, a phrase like that, if it works, it works. Like, if both things mean the same thing, then I'm fine with that. That's interchangeable for me because it means the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Whereas like something like all intensive purposes versus all intents and purposes, those two things mean something different. So they're not interchangeable. But butt naked and buck naked, that's the same thing.
I'll do a few more. I found a different list. A scapegoat.
Yeah, no, escape goad.
What?
It's a scapegoat.
What the... Explain.
A scapegoat is like, what is a goad? It's like an scapegoat is just somebody who takes the fall. You pin. Okay, so you and your sister are whatever. Your sister colors on the wall and says, "Oh, it was you.
Yeah.
You're the scapegoat."
You're the scapegoat.
No, it's not scapegoat.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. It's the scapegoat.
The point I'm making here, it's not escapegoat. It's not escapegoat. It is, in bold there, scapegoat. That's one word.
Where did I hear it was goad?
What is goad?
I don't know what a goad is.
We're experiencing this live, fellas.
Goad is the word. Why did I hear? Wow.
I really let you loose with that one. I said,
did,
no,
you let
please,
me-
you explain to me what the fuck you think that is right now.
You tell me what you think a fucking goat is. Wow. Yeah, scapegoat, but it's not a scapegoat. It's a scapegoat.
The goat did not escape. There's no E. It's just scapegoat. It's all in words. Scapegoat.
Wow. Hey, Christian learned something new. Christian learned that he was using a word that literally doesn't exist. That's so funny.
Biding my time.
Biding my time.
You're not biting it
No, because that
with
doesn't
your
make
teeth.
sense. Unless you're chomping on your watch. Which you can do. It's allowed. It's legal.
By and large,
Don't know this one.
admittedly, neither by and large nor by and large makes much sense.
Yeah.
It's by and large, not by in large. It's just, you know how when you go and, like, apostrophe,
Yeah.
and apostrophe. It's not
Like bits and grits. Nope, grits and eggs.
So it sounds like you're saying by in large.
grits.
It's by and large. Neither makes much sense, but regardless, only the latter phrase, including the and, is correct to say, a way to say in general, just commonly, by and large, it's this.
Throw this one out there, and this will be the last thing. Irregardless is not a word.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people say irregardless. That's not a thing.
It's just regardless.
It's just regardless. Irregardless, literally, it's not even one of those. It's like, oh, that's a different word. It's just not a word.
How do you feel about words that are colloquially used so often that because the general public takes it to just all mean, everyone agrees, yeah, I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
It becomes its own word.
Yeah, it gets grandfathered into the English language.
The word literally.
That's a tough one because, yeah.
If you look up the meaning of the word literally, you will get its definition. Its secondary definition means not literally.
Wow.
If you look up the word literally, in a literal manner or sense, or exactly.
Yep.
The driver took it literally when I asked him to go straight across the traffic circle.
Oh, no. Can't do that.
Informally, used for emphasis to express strong gut feeling, while not being literally true. I was literally blown away by the response I got. The second meaning, quite truly, means not literally.
Yeah.
Because so many people used the word wrong
Yep.
that now it has an accepted formal meaning. It literally means not literally.
Because you know how fucking weird it is to be like, I was figuratively blown away.
Dude, metaphorically,
Yeah.
I was out of it.
Yeah, like it doesn't grip the like literally does.
Yeah.
It literally grips so hard.
But it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It can't. It's a word. It can't grip
It
anything.
can't grip anything.
No, it's not tangible.
Exactly. But what you're saying
Naked.
isn't incorrect because that is a proper.
Yeah.
It's a proper phrase.
Yeah.
That
Crazy.
word has a new meaning
It's been-
because of the way language is such a fun thing.
Language is fucking wild. And it's crazy that it's who was I talking to about this? I was talking to somebody about it. Yeah. It is our best form of communication and it's also so broken.
It's so broken. Yeah.
Yeah, especially modern day with so many colloquial terms and like different phrases that are just they don't really mean anything but they mean something to us. Like it's just I don't know. Language is just so interesting and it's really the only way we can fully communicate.
Yeah.
There's body language, that's something, but it's not really.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's kind of like
There are not territory. I'm trying to think. There are cultural different places in the same country that speaks a particular language will have different phrases that mean different things.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Even in America.
They'll have short. Yeah, no. In any given country
Yeah.
where people speak the same language, if you go to the north or go to the south, people probably have different phrases that mean different things, even if they're speaking the same exact language.
Same, yeah. And sometimes even the same words can mean the opposite thing.
Yeah.
I can't give you an example because I just
The Midwest, just saying, yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
No, yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no.
Which one is it, dude? Yeah or no? They mean the opposite. You can't say them both at the same time.
The last thing I'll say is that I love it around here though, down here in the southeast, because we have so much time on this planet, right?
Yeah.
And we gotta enjoy it while we can. We can't spend all day dilly dallying and just really. We can't be that eloquent.
Yeah.
We gotta get straight to the point. We gotta shorten sentences into words.
Oh, yeah. Y'all.
G.
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 You're feeling a little hungry around noon. G.
Jeet. Oh, wow. Yeah. Jeet.
Did you eat?
Did you eat? Jeet.
G.
Jeet.
So
Jeet?
if you, have you?
No, I haven't.
Yana?
Yana?
Do you want to?
You just said you can say 6 words in 2. Jeet. Yana. Yana.
What?
5 words. Did you eat?
That is
No.
ridiculous.
Are you saying Yana as in you wanna or do you wanna?
It could be both.
Gianna?
Jonna?
Gianna?
Pretty much,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's 6.
People around here speak like that.
They do. It's awful.
And I can understand them.
Me too. It's great.
That's nuts. Is
there
the
is something-
capability for us to bend our own perception of, oh, he meant that.
Yeah. And it's not even that. It's like we don't even have to consciously think. It's just like, oh, jeet, that means did you eat?
Yeah.
We just know. It's second nature at this point.
There was a foreign exchange student when my sister went to high school that
I feel so bad for foreign exchange students, man.
he walked in and the teacher was like, because he was like 10 minutes late to school, so in the beginning of the day you can get breakfast, and breakfast had closed because the school day had started. And the teacher, like, when he walked in, he was like, oh man, I'm sorry you're late. He was like, yeah, there's a traffic issue. And he's like, you're fine, we're just about to get started. G? And homie went and pulled out his little dictionary and he started looking.
Oh, G.
And they were like, yo, what's up? And he was like, I can't find G.
Can't find jeet.
I can't find G.
You don't want to check Urban Dictionary for that one. You got an urban one in there?
No, not Urban Dictionary. Rural Dictionary.
Rural Dictionary.
That's what we need. We need a rural dictionary. Hey, with that.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah.
God.
Hey, speaking of words, words are
hard.
crazy.
It's hard. You know, sometimes you can understand these things, but like when you write them down and look at them, they look ridiculous.
Yeah. But when you hear them.
Have you ever? Okay, on God, we all know that this is about to go into an audible ad. But with that, have you ever read a book written phonetically? A book written to where the words are meant to
impossible
perfectly mean how they'd be pronouncing it?
Fuck that, man.
Like if they're a Southern person, the book is written to where you read them in a Southern accent.
Yeah.
It's so difficult.
It's wild, yeah.
It's so fucking difficult
really
to understand. Seth, start the music. And that's why you should have the book read to you. You can listen to audiobooks. I'm talking about thousands of titles available right now at audible.com. If you want a free trial, you can go to audibletrial.com/ABP. And there are tons of titles on there that aren't free, and that's sad, but it's okay. There are tons of things you can't read without a premium credit, which you're given one. You're given one with your free trial, so that anything kind of behind that paywall, you can break that paywall down and enjoy your audiobooks the way you like them on Audible. That's how I like them. If you want to go to audibletrial.com/ABP, links on the screen, also in the episode description. 30-day trial. They're not going to rope you into anything you don't want to stay into. 1 week before it's over, they'll email you. Make sure you get out of that if you want to get out of that. But I hope you enjoy it. I hope you keep it. That's really up to you. That's personal choice. But they got audiobooks, podcasts, and more. Go check them out. Great guys. I want to say a huge thank you to absolutely everyone for watching and listening, and an extra special intimate thank you to Kansas, Olivia, Jamie, and Valerie, 4 people who support the show on a monthly basis and kind of keep things running. We appreciate the hell out of you. And if you'd like to and are able to do the same, you can go to anchor.fm/anythingbut. That is anchor.fm/anythingbut. You'll see the support button. You'll see the support button right there, and you can click it and support us in tiers of 99 cents, $4.99, or $9.99. We'll say your name at the end of every episode, and I will literally give you a smooch. So we want to say a huge thank you to literally. And we want to say a huge thank you to our producers for helping us do this and make this happen.
Love you guys.
Salty Sloth Productions. That link is in the episode description, along with a link for 353 Studios, the place that we're at, and is letting all of this happen. This great equipment and lovely little set. We thank 353 Studios. Other than that, I've thanked all of you. Yep. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Seth. What's up?
Scapegoat might have been the most embarrassing thing I've ever done on this show.
Really? You've done a lot.
I know I have done a lot, but that was rough. Making up a word, thinking that it's like you were telling me that it wasn't true. Like, oh, it's not what you think. I'm like, yeah, I know, because it's scapegoat.
Actually, there's nothing worse than doing an actually and still being wrong.
Still be so wrong, and you being like, please.
I did that while I was really fucking high once. I was at like a party with like a party. There was like a gathering of like 3 people. It was like me and 2 other friends, and I drove like 45 minutes to get to this place.
Nice.
I just really liked these people. I vibe with them.
Hey, you drive for the people that you want to hang out with.
Yeah, shout out Lou and Akia. I like both you guys. They're cool. Akia's my friend, Japanese friend. I used to have a YouTube video, it might still be up, of me just opening like a care box of Japanese things. Akia sent me those.
Nice. Lukia.
Akia.
Lou
and Akia.
Lou Akia Jim Kia.
No, but I was really high, and I was like, "This is a word," and they were like, "No, it's not." And I'm like, "No, I swear."
What was
it
the
is."
word?
I totally forget. Unfortunately,
Fuck, man.
Unfortunately, it stayed with me for like a week, and then a month later, I tried to remember it, and I was like, "Oh,
Get it out of here. Get that out of my head.
Childhood amnesia, man."
Yeah. It'll get you. Bite you in the tail.
Yeah, it just came very late, and it only made me forget that one word.
Not 7, 17.
I remember the rest of that night.
Interesting.
Anywho,
Love you
what are
guys.
you all still doing here? Bye.
Yeah, what are you?
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. I love you so much.
Don't do that.
I love you so much.
Don't do that.
You're everything
I'm
to
taking
me.
these off.
God, I love you.
Did you fart?
No.
Is that your ass?
No, it wasn't. Stop! Don't look at me, please.
What was
It wasn't me. I didn't fart.
I heard a brr.
It wasn't me. I promise. Whatever you're about to smell is just completely aside from whatever that sound was. I think there's a ghost in here. Guys, I'm scared.
I'm scared.